Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Kim Durama with MindBody TV. Welcome to this episode. Welcome to this week. And for those of you listening to the recording, welcome to you as well. I'm going to share today about when you think the universe is not on your side. When you think, oh, and I have my little friend with me today. So might as well introduce our special guest right up front. This is our little Gianni. And he's going to be eating during the show today. Most likely. But I want to share today about when you think life is not on your side, the universe is not on your side, I can't let go, I can't surrender. The reason I'm sharing on this as a physician who's been using mind-body medicine and self-healing to assist people, it is so common when people will say, no, I can't just let go and surrender because what if I don't get what I want? What if what life has in store for me isn't as good as what I could do on my own by working and holding and toiling away and trying and, that whole thing that keeps us in tension and keeps us in stress and keeps us in fight or flight. So it's like, I can't let go of this fight or flight because I really do think it's serving me and like protecting me from this alter outcome that if I just let go, it really won't be as good. And I hear this a lot. So one of the things that I see that keeps people sick is the state we're in. We're in this state of consciousness, like it's up to me. I got to do it. I got to fight for it. Here we go. I got to make it happen. And so we're in this constant state of holding it together. And that blocks healing. And it's like, instead of having the resilience, relaxation, freedom, joy that come with being in flow, we hold it all together and we're like, no, I've got to get to this destination. I've got to make it happen. And so that makes a huge difference in what's going on with your health, and it blocks you from that state of flow. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Kim Duramo. I'm board certified in emergency medicine and have been practicing mind-body healing for years and years and years as more of like an intuitive person. And this was always very natural to me, seeing in the ER so many people suffering and struggling and realizing like, this is not a medical issue. There's something deeper going on here. I could feel their emotional body. I could feel what was going on and sort of in their state that was really what was keeping them sick, really what was preventing them from healing. Hi, everybody who's joining. And, it was like, what do I even do with this? Because it wasn't really a format to work this way with people when I was in the ER. So I started sharing in other ways and started up a different practice to help people heal. And that's kind of what evolved into the American Institute of Mind-Body Medicine, is like from this deeper awareness, really assisting people in releasing the things that are holding back the most. And if you haven't seen the previous broadcast, there was a lot last week that we talked about shame, about how protecting ourselves from feeling that shame is one of the biggest things that blocks so many things from being received. Health, wealth, abundance, joy, love, freedom, so many things. Definitely worth viewing that episode. So what happens that, where are we withholding and kind of feeling like the universe is not on my side? I've got to hold it together myself. When I ask people to surrender and let go, there's really this thought like, yeah, but I'd rather just take care of this myself because I really do know what I want and I want it to be exactly like this. So there's a couple things that keep us in that attachment. One is the fear. We have this fear like life is not really on my side. And if I let go, it's not going to be as good as what I could do on my own. So there's like, I'm not going to let go of the wheel. And I had a friend, Dr. Sinica Green. She was in emergency medicine residency with me. And she said it like this. She said, it's kind of like saying, okay, God and all powerful universe, I understand that you have, everything covered and all of the power in the universe. And, thanks for all your help. But, this other thing with my love life, I'm just going to handle that myself because I'm really particular here. So thanks anyway, but I'm just going to manage this part. Or this other part with my health, I'm just going to handle this myself. And I always thought it was so funny because it's like, that's exactly what we do. We understand mentally that there's this universal power of like what's creating our life, what creates our body, what creates our children. Let me just show this beautiful child again because he's so sweet. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Here he is. what creates this, what allowed me to conceive this little baby, it goes so far beyond just, you know, like what we think of scientifically. Hello. And what is that universal power that we can tap into? And then we kind of, hey, no thanks anyway. So this is the power that creates worlds. This is the power that created you. This is the power that can heal you. So when we're not willing to let go of the wheel, it prevents us from really receiving. And it's all out of like avoiding. We want to avoid really feeling what we're ready to feel or what life is ready to have us move through. The second thing that happens is we're attached to the outcome. So let me just make sure I can see the comments. Hello. I can't see them, but let me figure this out. Okay, here we go. So the second thing that happens is we really have this thing and we think we need it in order to feel better. Like, no, I have to have this kind of relationship or this kind of house or this kind of career or this kind of money or whatever, and then I'll feel happy. So we're like holding it together, and then there's this outcome, and after that is met, then I'll let go and feel happy. And it will never work. Period, the end. Because the journey has to match the destination. You can't create abundance from a state of like strife and tension and working hard. You can only create from, you can only create joy from, thanks Emily for saying hi, because I can see the comments now. You can only create joy from being in a state of joy and the actions that are done as a flow of that joy. So when we're attached to the outcomes, like, okay, when I'm healthy, then I'll be happy. And we think we need to wait. What actually is true is as I embody joy, health will be a result of that. As I embody love, the harmony of my relationship or the person coming in who's really a match will be the result of that. As I embody the essence of freedom and expansion and just relax my body, money will come more easily. And I know that might sound like, what? How's just sitting here relaxing my shoulders going to make money come in? Like, you are connected with everything in the universe. And so when you're in that space of freedom, joy, harmony, ease, and you embody that physically, tangibly, energetically, that will change your, not only your receptivity of what you think and what you perceive, but it will change the output, the transmission that you're sending to everyone and everything in the universe and in your world. So it does change the way people respond to you, the way people treat you, the way people take you up on an invitation or just pass you over. So that alone makes a massive, unthinkable difference. But it also changes all of your actions and behaviors. When you embody that freedom of like, wait a minute, my life is in grace and ease. I receive all things in grace and ease. I can operate in grace and ease and choose from that space. Everything you do, everything you say will be very, very different. So when we let go of the attachment and we're willing to just embrace what it is, that the end result, it doesn't matter what it looks like. If I embrace freedom, it doesn't matter if freedom, joy, I'm living in ease. Does it matter what my house looks like? Does it matter where I'm living? Does it matter whether I have a partner or don't have a partner? No, but those things will be a match for the state I'm in. So you've got to let go of the outcome, because for a long time I thought I needed to have the ideal partner before I could really be happy, before I could really be happy with myself. I wasn't really willing to be totally happy with myself until I basically had all of those things in place. And that was like exactly what was holding everything from happening. And when I finally realized, like, wait a minute, I need to be in love with myself. I need to give myself the gift of my own attention. I need to value and cherish myself before any of those things were ever going to come in. But when I did value and cherish myself, it didn't matter if those things came in or didn't, or when they came in, or what they looked like, or how it was. It was like I already lived in that wholeness that I was wanting so bad. And the same was true for health. When I embraced that level of ease and like, okay, stop fighting, stop running, stop trying to improve, stop trying to get better, and just embrace where I am right now, it was like instantaneous that it opened me to that fluidity of health. And like some of you know the story that it was just within days that my body healed. That can be frustrating when it's like, how come she healed just within a few days and I've been like this for years? I've heard a lot of people say that. I had just someone on a private Skype session yesterday who said exactly that. And I was like, well, it was a couple of years of struggling before I allowed that moment of surrender. The physical body can heal very quickly, but how long did it take me to really fully surrender? Same thing with my relationship. You know, it was like a lot of train wrecks, or what I thought were train wrecks, before I really had the relationship I really wanted. Do you want to eat? Huh? Do you want to eat or not? You can have it. All right, I'm going to look at some of these comments. Randy, it's hard to actually release attachment when we do feel attachment. It's still going really well with my guy from England, and we would both like for me to move there to live with him. And my lease is up in 5 months. It still feels like I should be doing more to find a way to actually get the large amount of money that would be needed to do that. No. We don't need to figure it out. Just like we don't need to figure out how do we heal. When we allow it and we resonate with the outcome of it, like resonate with the freedom and joy and resilience, our body knows how to heal. Source knows how to heal us. Like the energy that creates us knows exactly what's needed, whether it's your thyroid or your adrenals or fill in the blank. And there's so much more complexity to the body than we could ever figure out. Same thing with the logistics of you moving to England. There are so many more things that are unknown that you can't know than all of the things that you do know. So, you know, if you've ever done the Landmark Forum, they'll share, there's the things that you know, there's the things that you don't know, and there's the things that you don't know that you don't know. So it's like, these are the things I know. I know my name, I know my husband, I know, you know, where I live, blah, blah, blah. These are the things I know that I don't know yet. I don't yet know how to speak Spanish. I don't know your birthday. I don't know how many people are on this call. I know that I don't know. But that third category of the whole realm of all the things I don't know that I don't know, things that don't even occur to me to realize are truths, are possibilities. And so this is where that space of how am I going to get to England? It's like the big unknown of how could this happen? What are the logistics? You can't know. You can't even know what's going to happen in 10 seconds from now. I feel like I should be doing more to find the money. But the only thing that feels joyful is to start creating the blog. I've had the vision for a long time, but that doesn't make any sense to my mind because it could take months and months before that makes money. And I'm struggling releasing the attachment of having this happen soon, but I want to release into joy. This is a perfect example. So if Randy would begin, let's say, this is joyful. I'm writing this blog. It feels proliferative. Wow, the juices are stirring. Every time I go and engage with that community or just writing the actual blog, doesn't even matter if anyone's reading it yet, something happens in me. And this is the truth about your emanation. Let's see if I can do this. Writing with one hand with a baby on my arm. So we are here. Okay. Here's your energy body, sort of. You are receiving all kinds of information and awareness, and it's not necessarily information like you should go to the coffee shop right now. It can come as a hit like that, but it can also just come as a download of awareness, a resonance, a frequency that can get translated into information, but sometimes it's just a feeling. You're also expressing, you're transmitting information. So all of this stuff is like emanating from you, and it's sending a message to the universe. It's sending a message to your neighbor. It's sending a message to the people around you. It's sending a message to your clients, your boss, your like everything and everyone. And as far as what frequency you're on. And if you're on the joy channel, it invites everyone else into joy. And it has them connect with you in joy. So even if people are like, oh, I don't like that person, she's so witchy, and you're like, oh my God, she's always super sweet to me, you're participating in a different channel with that person, so you can receive them in a different way. Same thing with this. You do this blog, it lights you up with joy. You start expressing the joy frequency. It's emanating from you. That isn't just la 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 happy, oh I'm so happy. It's a frequency of harmony. It's a frequency of lightness. It's a frequency of love. And it will change and harmonize everything around you. Just like people say, you know, bless your food, right? The food has a consciousness. It has a frequency. It's energy. So if I'm like, okay, I made this beautiful shake. Wow, I'm so thankful for this beautiful shake. And it was made with this incredible ingredients. And I put some kale in there. And while I'm making it, I'm like, oh, I love my body. I'm going to put this in here to nurture my body. Versus I can make the exactly same shake with the same ingredients and be like, oh, gotta get this one to school, gotta do this thing. Oh God, I don't even want to talk to that one today, and blah, blah, blah. Throwing the kale in there. Oh, I hate kale. Do I really have to drink this crap? Oh, I'm supposed to drink it because it's gonna make me healthy. And I put this stuff in here. The frequency of that shake, that food, is very different. This has been shown scientifically. Masaru Emoto did a ton of research and published a book called Messages in Water. And then there was a second book, like Messages in Water Part 2. I can't remember the title of it, but it was even better and an awesome read. But they talked about taking these like hamburger patties that were frozen, processed, whatever, and they were at a very low frequency. Like they'd calibrate the frequency of these different foods. And then they, you know, and they were microwaved too, so like even worse. But then they prayed over them and like blessed the food. And they found after that that they harmonized at the same level as like all natural, like no hormone, you know, cooked beef. So one of them, you know, the natural food calibrated at a much higher level, and the microwaved patties that were frozen were much, much lower. And they were like the equivalent of, you know, all kinds of negative things. But when they blessed it, it could regain a higher calibration. Pretty cool. So they would look at these things and do some scientific research. And it was really powerful how the food would take on the frequency of that blessing. Anyway, the point is we are emanating that frequency, and that can bring in unbelievable things that go beyond what your mind already knows or thinks is possible. So we're holding all these conclusions about how the world works and what's possible. And so, for example, well, if I write a blog, maybe I could make some money, but that would certainly take months and months because I have to get a following, and then people would have to, you know, like me, and then I have to create something for them, and then I have to buy it, and blah, blah, blah. And wow, I'd have to invest money to make that happen. So by the time I made money, it'd be like years, you know. That's the linear mind. That's in the realm of what you know that you know, which is usually BS. We think we know all kinds of things, but all of those things are judgments, conclusions, and assumptions that we've been taught that aren't even necessarily true for us, and aren't even necessarily true at all. So kind of crazy the way we think that's real, and it's like nothing. So would you be willing to let go of everything you think you know and embrace joy, letting go of the wheel, and let that joy emanate from you and create all of the things that it's ready to create? Joy will create all of the things that are a match for joy. So if you create all kinds of amazing joy in your life, doesn't matter where you live. Maybe it's, who knows what it's going to look like, but it will be joyful for you. So you can know the journey matches the destination. If you're in joy and you're creating from joy, it will create a match for that. It's exactly the same what I've done in my business. I used to create from conclusion. I have to do this, I should do that, it should look like this, I should be like that. And it didn't create what I really wanted it to create, just created more work. And so I let go, and it took a lot of strength. It took a lot of courage to let go of everything I thought I knew and everything people were telling me needed to happen, and just say like, well, this is what I feel like doing, so I wonder what that will create, and just do it. So like this Facebook Live, it's like, I don't even know idea what this is going to create, but I know I love doing it, and I look forward to it, and it's fun and fluid for me. And if it isn't anymore, then I'll put it on hold or stop or change. Here you go. Here you go. And are you willing to operate like that in that space of the unknown where the mind doesn't already know and calculate what's being done? Gail asks, how did you embrace that state so easily? I didn't embrace it that easily. It took a while, and there was a lot of fear. It was like tangible, physical fear that was like, oh God, no, this is not good. You're not working enough. Surely something bad's going to happen. You're not doing enough hours. You're not in enough stress, or, whatever that was comfortable for me before. People do this with their diet. Like, oh, no, I can't eat that. If I eat that, this will happen. And they need to be in restriction in order to feel like it's going to be okay. And that's not true. What if getting out of restriction was what created more resilience in your body? What if being in flow and harmony with food is what created more for your health? So it took a while, and the guidance that I had, so mentorship is really, really helpful for someone who is already embracing that state, because they can allow you to come into the resonance that they're in so much more easily than you doing it by yourself. That's why I started doing retreats and having people come here physically. That's why I started doing more work online and working with groups of people, because in our exchange, it's a transmission. It's a download. It's an exchange of consciousness. It's not information like, hey, let me tell you these 3 things to do, and then you'll come into a higher level of harmony and all these good things will happen. No, it's a transmission of consciousness where someone who's resonating in that space can literally, and we see this when we study energy scientifically, it will allow your energy to begin to reside in that harmonic. So you practice your way into it. Jelena, beautiful name. Yes, it is really hard to surrender and let go of expectations. Well, the third thing, go back here, that happens where we have this perspective that it's got to be hard. And whenever I introduce people to this who are new, and they'll have this awakening like, whoa, and then they'll say, I have a lot of work to do. And that's never true. It's not, if we make it be work, we're not on the solution. We're not resonating with harmony, right? Because it's like, oh God, it's going to be so much hard work. Or as I start to like see all my nitty gritty crap, I'm like, oh God, now I realize what a mess I really am. And we think it's hard work. And so that's always the old programming that's falling away. It's like, no. What if it could be easy? What if you could let it be easy? Hi, Chrissy. Welcome. Hi, Patty. Gail says, are you saying trust in the unknown despite what is currently happening? Yes. Is this how we're co-creating with Source? Yes. Co-creation is so much more of our allowing Source, quote unquote, the universe, to be and express all of the beautiful things that it's ready to be for us, versus us creating, right? So it's so much more us saying, okay, I'm ready to live in joy. Okay, I'm ready to allow these whatever unknown joys to come in, however that might happen, than it is us saying, I got to really think about, like, what do I want? I don't know what I want, but so I can't visualize it. So if I can't visualize it, then it won't come. I have to get more clear. I have to know, and I don't know. No. You don't need to know any of it. That's going to just create more attachment to the outcome. What if you just reside in the space of what it reflects? Like, oh, I want to have a beautiful home, or lots of travel, or a lover. Why do I want to have that? Oh, because I'd feel so free and so joyful and so serene if I had these things. So just go to that harmonic. What is serenity? What is your body when you're in serenity? It's more relaxed, more resilient. How would I move if I were in serenity? And so you can reverse engineer that. If I'm in serenity, I move slowly, I move gracefully, I move thoughtfully, mindfully, joyfully. And so then when I'm not, and I'm like doing this, doing that, and like stubbing my toe and like hurting my body, breaking a glass, it's like, wait a minute, I'm moving so fast. Maybe I'm not in the level of serenity that I could really embrace. So I will like slow down, take a deep breath, move more slowly and fluidly. And then that kind of practices me into that level of fluidity and serenity. So you can reverse engineer it. All right, what else do we have for comments? Possibly unrelated, Emily. Hi, Emily. What does it say on that pink butterfly picture behind you? You know, this is totally related. It says the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And that's the same thing as I choose to enter serenity or the bliss of writing my blog or whatever. and to see what that creates. The future belongs, the prosperous, beautiful harmonic of that future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. If we think our dreams, like we use the linear mind, our dreams are like, yeah, well, I'll get to that after I get X, Y, and Z lined up. I'll get to that after I accumulate X amount of dollars and retire. I'll get to that later. It's all well and good. But like to really believe in the beauty, that dream alone creates something, creates all of these things that I want. It is a harmonic, and it does have creative power. And interestingly, it's written on a butterfly. So there's a metamorphosis that happens, and where this caterpillar, like, oh my God, the world is ending. Just as the caterpillar thought the world was ending, the butterfly emerged. I had a mug, I think I still have it, that says that. It's my favorite. And I've experienced that metamorphosis so many times where it's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing in the world. And like really meeting my deepest fear, my deepest grief, my deepest like whatever. And that's when the butterfly emerges. It's like, that's your metamorphosis. I had a girlfriend call me this morning. She's getting on a plane to Colombia to go and really connect with herself for 10 days and, you know, go with her friend and all these things. But she's like, I am so miserable because I had this fight with my boyfriend before I left, and now everything's awful, and I shouldn't have said this, and I shouldn't have done this, and I shouldn't even have to come over. I should have just packed on my own. I get so stressed when I packed. I shouldn't have had him come over for that because it's my fault, and blah, 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 blah. And she is in this totally contracted space. But the reality is, how is this exactly where you need to be to meet yourself right here, right now, before you even get on the plane? You don't need to go to Colombia to find that connection with yourself. She's right here, and she's hurting, and she feels unworthy, and she feels wrong. And this is what you're trying to escape. And this is what you're trying to get away from. This is what you're trying to fix. And maybe you could go to Colombia for a few days and have that temporary, but it's not going anywhere. And if you really want that serenity and freedom and expansion that's ready to happen in your life, why not just meet her right now? So then, you know, it was like, you're going to be on this plane. There's nowhere for you to go. Bless you. You can't distract, get on like Facebook or call someone or watch TV. You know, I guess you could watch TV on the plane, but you're going to be with you. It's you and you. And ultimately, that is the magical moment of the caterpillar becoming the butterfly, is like, when you think everything is falling apart and you think, surely this isn't how I meant to feel. Surely this isn't what I meant to experience. This is certainly all wrong. Go deeper into the experience, because that's the catalyst where you can bring light into that space of darkness. And you're the one who's here for you. Like she wanted, you know, her boyfriend to be this way or be that way, or I just want him to understand me. I just want him to meet my needs. And it's like, wow, how we do that. We don't realize like, oh, I'm the one who's here to meet my needs. I'm the one who's here to meet this one in me who's hurting. So that was really beautiful. Gail, is your energy that you are emitting right now becoming part of our consciousness? Yes. As you receive it. Doesn't mean, you know, someone's doing something to you. So if I'm like, I'm in anger, that then you have to pick up anger. If you are resistant to that, you will. And if you're open to be on your joy, love, harmony channel, then you will. You actually selected this because you were ready to be on your joy, love, harmony channel, or otherwise you'd be on someone else's Facebook Live and like listening to something else. So this is a reflection of you and what you've been ready to choose. And yes, it invites you into a higher harmonic. Allison, hi Allison. I've recently come across the idea that having been abandoned at birth, my root chakra may have closed down, and perhaps this is why all my pain from Lyme occurs below the waist. Okay, is this just another story that will limit me? It's not, if it's freeing you to realize like, oh, wow, that makes so much sense now. And as I open my root chakra up, it can allow in so much light and healing and health and life and vitality. And I can come into full alignment with total health, and my body can release Lyme, either resiliently, spontaneously, or with the help of maybe some supplements or even medications or like whatever, but that it will actually work and I'll come into this new space. If you take it as a limitation, like, oh God, because of this thing, I was abandoned at birth, something I can't change, my root chakra is shut down and there's no way to ever do anything about that. And so I'm screwed, you know, then it can be a limitation and you don't have to buy into that. Can I still easily get clear if I have energetic issues in the chakra? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Sweet, sweet little beautiful Allison. Of course, sweetheart. Yes. And there are so many people who, like even just this way, we're understanding our energy. It's like, oh, I'm an energetic being. Then I can bring in the light energy of source to come into my root chakra and do whatever it needs to do because it knows. And my body knows how to unwind that. I don't need to know. And I can allow that to happen. And maybe learning some things about the chakra can assist and support that. And maybe having a practitioner who does work with chakras can assist and support that. Maybe that doesn't even need to happen. So what feels fluid and light for you? Does it feel heavy to have to go down this like, oh, I have all this energy work to do. Now I got to fix my chakras. No. So don't buy into the lie where there's like that heaviness. And this was on a Facebook Live a few weeks ago about listening to your body, that your body can tell you the truth and the lie. And the truth will be expansive. The truth sets you free. Oh, what if I could just come into a new energy alignment that brings in this new level of health, or the resources that bring in the new level of health? And yes, that's how your body works. Your physical body, like the immune system that can't clear the Lyme, is a reflection of that energy body. And so when you remember that you're an energetic being, you can play with things that way, and it can be much more fluid and fun and easy to allow resolution. Beautiful, thank you. Jennifer, this week I had some big emotional challenges. My impulse and desire were to reach out for help and find answers and advice from another person. So you want to look at, was that from urgency and like, I got to run to someone else and they're going to have to tell me and I need the answers because I don't have them? Or was it from inspiration of like, oh, this really resonates with me. There's clarity that this person has some answers for me. And then you consult with them. So it goes on to say, it was really hard. So I used the tools I've learned from you. Nice. I knew the only answers I would find, the only quiet and calm I would discover were within me. I acknowledge life is only working for me at every minute, and I alone have to meet my needs. Yeah, that's beautiful. The I alone have to meet my needs part is a truth in some ways, but we can also take it in a way that's not true. Like, I'm alone, no one's there for me, which would be kind of heavy. Like, there's no one who can help me, versus as I alone honor myself more fully, the whole universe conspires to meet my needs. There's tons of resources that can, just busy and fidgety, that can assist me. So, we're never really alone. But yes, it is kind of like I alone have to meet my needs. Like I shared with my friend this morning, there comes a point where it's you and you. And if you're on board for you, you open up everything. All of the whole universe conspires on your behalf. And when you're not on board for you, like she was giving herself this internal shutdown, like, oh my God, why did I do that? I'm so demanding. I'm so bossy. I'm such a bad person. It's the opposite. Jennifer, I'm repeating to myself, I choose harmony and sovereignty. I can find this in every moment as long as I'm connected to source, even during this pain. Yes, amen. And it's when I'm willing to connect and love myself during my pain when I open to receive the most. Okay, Michelle, hard to do, but so much freedom. Gail, do you believe that we each choose these physical? I don't know what else she's meaning to say, but we'll see. Do you believe that we choose our own specific challenges for our own individual expansion? Yes, from a higher space. We choose the limitations that we're going to face, the challenges that we're going to face, so that we can awaken, so that we can see. Like my friend this morning really began to see her pain in a way she previously suppressed. Deborah says, cute baby, so sweet, love the hair. Thank you. All right, that completes our comments. I will be checking in if there are further comments from people who listen to the replay. I'm at drkimd.com for those of you who would like to subscribe and receive more. We do have the Embracing Health program starting in a couple weeks. And I did a beautiful call yesterday. People asked amazing questions about how does healing happen? How do I embrace this more fully? Can these scars on my body be involved with that too? Can my sexuality with my husband be healed? How do all these other things in my relationships come into play with this program? And we did send out the replay. I posted it today in the MindBody community on Facebook, so you can go to the MindBody community and access that if you didn't already get on the mailing list to receive it in your email. But I would strongly encourage any of you who feel that this work is a fit for you to participate. And the registration is open for the next, I think it's like the next week or so when we begin. So I'm very much looking forward to assisting the group there. It's a 5-month program where we do the work live. There's a lot of integration that happens for you. It's fluid. It's not hard work. I've designed it so it's not like one more thing on your to-do, but something instead that really resources you. The link is drkimd.com/health. And so you're welcome to check that out. I'll put it in the comments as well. Cathy says, hello. Jelena, he's so cute, Dr. Kim. Thank you for sharing him with us in the video. Yeah, it's interesting because this little baby is such a being of light. And so he's shown up like for some of my Skype sessions where, my nanny or my husband will bring him in like he needs to feed now. And so he'll get to say hi. They'll get to say hi to him. And it like changes the energies very, very quickly. It's really amazing. And he's definitely changed my life and our family. And it's like there's a higher harmonic here since he's come in. Cynthia says, hello, Dr. Kim. Randy says, it's hard to actually release attachment. Oh, no, I think we already did this one. Oh, let me go to these new comments. I got them all. Mara, my sister-in-law is here. Love it, Kim. We choose our own happiness. Proud of you. I always am amazed when my family comes because my sister told me she listened to one of my interviews recently too. And my sister-in-law is like one of the most beautiful women I've ever met in my life. She just shines and glows and is so incredible and very much invites the same for everyone around her. It's like she walks in the room and you can just feel that like, it's okay for me to shine too. And, willing to laugh at herself and her like, little idiosyncrasies of like funny things she does that other people could be like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, that she'll just like love it and laugh at it. And it invites other women, especially, to like love themselves and let themselves come through and shine uncensored and uninhibited. So thanks for being here, Mara. Gail Pulio says, Abe says, we choose our parents pre-birth. Do you agree? That's a whole other topic, but there is a higher consciousness of ourselves that we're connected with that kind of aligns the whole game for us. Like, what's going to be the circumstances that will allow myself as a soul to expand the most fully from this experience? So then we come in and it's like, it's like a movie. It's like a dream. We come into this experience. It's not the truth of who we are. It's an experience that we're having to assist the expansion of our soul. So I hope that can allow us to be more free in this experience. Like my daughter just like puts the music on and dances around the room like that song was just created for her and created for her joy. And she eats it up and she just lets it happen. And she is an amazing dancer. And when she dances, we're also filled with light and so filled with joy. And it's beautiful. And I just love noticing how she doesn't have any thought about what it's supposed to look like. She just lets herself experience the whole room in her dance. Sarah says, I'm joining your program with the intention of healing my body. I guess I'm already attached to the outcome and not in a place of receiving. That's okay, because like that's what the program's for. Can I still succeed with your program when I'm not in a receiving state? Yeah, the program is created to bring us into receptivity. The group retreat that I had first created a couple years back is called Effortless Receiving, because it brings us into that space where we just open to receive. The rest is taken care of for us. And so, yeah, that's like the whole point of what embracing health is for. So you're exactly in the right place. And that's where I was as well. I was, it was like a shutdown. I was receiving to a degree, but it's like, wait, I want to receive so much more. And is that really allowed? And is that just a pipe dream? And is it like really the nature of my being? Why am I even asking for this? But I can't deny it anymore. I remember being in the ER and thinking like, Kim, just work harder and make it happen. Like, what are you thinking? And thankfully I didn't buy that. Here, it's okay. We're going to conclude. Is it time? Thankfully, I didn't believe that, but a part of me at the time was kind of still releasing that idea. Like, what do you think? It's just going to be all butterflies and unicorns and la la la, and everything's going to come to you easily. But this inner part of me was like, I do want that level of ease. I do want that level of joy. I do want that level of fluidity. And so I said yes. And that's, expanding day by day by day. All right. So we're going to complete with this week's episode of MindBody TV. You can find me at drkimd.com, and I'm sending so much love to you. You can join me in the MindBody community on Facebook, and I'll be here every week at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.